everyone, I am Brogan with Gamespresso. Today, brand new game just came out, Submerged. It's from the former devs of Bioshock 1 and 2 and an XCOM game. I've been pretty excited for this game. I've been looking forward to it. It's good to see that someone decided to use Waterworld right. The movie wasn't good, but the ideas can still be used, you know? I am really digging the tone so far. And the music. It's kind of reminded me of Kingdom Hearts a little, actually. In this alternate ending to Life of Pi, instead of being trapped with a tiger, it's trapped with your sister. Oh, he don't look too good. I better sit him down quick. I don't think I can carry him for too long. Getting a very Shadow of the Colossus feel, actually. Remember when Wanda, I think is his name. Oh, I'll call her, not Wanda, too. You know, remember when he put his girlfriend on the altar and all that. Oh, good. I'm getting some Journey flashbacks as well. So this apparently must be like in a post-apocalyptic Ooh, that doesn't look good. Huh? Bless you. Yeah, so we were living in houses. It looks like we were living in houses above the sea, and then we had a nice happy family, and we had a close-up of the nice happy family, and everyone was happy. Something went wrong, obviously. Oh, his name's Taku. Well, until you give this girl a name, I'm calling her Wanda. We couldn't have found a place with like a door or something. Whoa! So majestic. I am digging this environment, definitely. I've also played it just a little bit, like for about 30 minutes, just to make sure that I got all the controls right, got the feel of the game, and so I kind of got a feel for it already. So I know that it is to my benefit that I get up here real quick. So yes, there's a lot of platforming, as you can tell. Clock doesn't work. No surprises there. Oh, pro tip: do not go down that thing. That thing just leads to not really anything. It's more of a way down from the clock once you've gotten to the top. There's actually nothing down there. So here we get our first clue or something. So it's under the city story, and this shows nope, don't really have any idea. Well, you can just tell it in order like the family story. Okay. That's fine. I get it. I guess I was wrong. I should be able to use the telescope right now. But, oh well. Feature where even robots don't have it good. There's also this really cool feature in this game called Make a Postcard. Let me get into good position here. Okay. So what you can do is you can rotate the camera around and you can create a screenshot based on just like the floating camera. This might be a good camera angle. Or perhaps this. Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, that's cool right there. Now, the one thing that I have discovered is that the screenshot feature does not actually work in full screen. Does not at all. I'm actually running it in windowed screen. If you, like, you know, you take a screenshot just like you would anything else. You press the print screen button, and if the game's in full screen, it doesn't do anything. But if it's in windowed mode, then yeah, it takes it just fine. So this game was developed by Uppercut Studios, indie game. They're all very proud of the fact that they're former Bioshock and XCOM developers. I mean, if I was look, if I worked on Bioshock, I'd be bragging about that till the end of my days. I'll talk once they're done talking. Interesting point there. Lioness Hotel. So, are we French? What is this weird fake language we're speaking? Doesn't sound like anything I've heard. So yeah, as I said, these guys, they are former Bioshock and XCOM developers. I actually did some background checks on that. Kind of to make sure that they were telling the truth. I usually do that when people brag about stuff like that. On their website, they like name like 7... I don't know how big their team is, I think it's... but I know they have 7 people listed on their site. Like, on the About Us page and all that. And those 7 people, yes indeed, they are all former developers from the original Bioshock, and some of them have worked on Bioshock 2 as well. They are, however, the artists, programmers, and designers. Ken Levine, the guy who wrote Bioshock, Ken Levine, I forget how you pronounce it. He's doing his own thing. He's not part of this, so... But when they say, like, you know, oh, we worked on Bioshock, I'm sure many people naturally just kind of jumped to the possibility and, like, that I'm thinking of the writing of Bioshock, but because that's ultimately what I remember, what I'm going to remember most. That's what I'm going to love it for eternity. But I do really like the atmosphere of the original Bioshock. Emergency rations. Or medicine. Oh good, I didn't want to climb back down after all that. Good, we patched him up. And I think we got a little bit of food too. And more to our story. Daddy went fishing. He hunted fish. We ate fish. Okay. Still doesn't look that great.
call to attack. Need to
To call to attack leak? What? Whatever. Yeah, they have the fake shot of the Colossus speech, too. Oh, good, I have the telescope now. Now I can go up here and use that to go see stuff. Anyway, yeah. So, they also mentioned that they worked on XCOM. That part is actually misleading, and I'm actually kind of mad about it, actually. There's a lot of XCOM games, right? Well, naturally, when you say, oh, we used to work on XCOM, you think it's XCOM Enemy Unknown, or one of the classics. Back from before Enemy Unknown. No, they worked on The Bureau, XCOM Declassified. And the story behind that, very briefly, is that when the executives that be decided to reboot XCOM, they were first going to reboot it as a first-person shooter and all that, and just be this generic shooter revival of a classic. And fans like Angry Joe and the Spoony One just kind of bashed it to death and hated it, called betrayal and all that. And so XCOM The Bureau Declassified, they decided instead that they should make a more traditional revival of the classic, like XCOM Enemy Unknown. And so the fans really saved the franchise by, convincing the developers to switch gears and make it like the original, make it really faithful and all that. And so a lot of people assume that the original shooter idea that they had was scrapped, because that would be a terrible idea. And after all, they released Enemy Unknown, and Enemy Unknown worked out great. But it turns out that they were still making the bad shooter. But they were also kind of indecisive about what direction to take. They kind of made it a mixture of strategy and third-person shooter, squad-based combat and all that. And then a trusted reviewer I follow, Jim Sterling, he said that it seemed unwilling to commit itself to anything. It was torn between original shooter and XCOM strategy, desperate to please everybody and uncommitted to anything. What I'm doing is I'm marking places to go find stuff. The telescope, well, I wish this feature was in Wind Waker, actually. When I see stuff through the telescope, I mark it on my map, and then I can go find it. And I go find that stuff, and then we, survive, die slower. Maybe live, if we're lucky. Bottom line, people did not like the Bureau XCOM Declassified. That was the game these guys were behind. I'm not saying they were the only ones behind it. I'm not saying they're the ones who made it bad. I'm just saying they're bragging about working on it. And it didn't turn out good. I'm sure they did their best. I'm sure they had a lot of tough decisions. I don't know what I'd be in that situation either. Like I said, if I was working on Bioshock, I'd brag about that to the end of my days. But when you say you worked on XCOM, you gotta say the full title. You gotta be specific. Sorry, I haven't really been talking much about this game exactly. I've been talking about the developers, but don't worry. We got plenty of time to talk about a lot of things. This is a very laid-back game. Very nice, very smooth. And I can see the... Ah, yes. So, whenever you encounter a new animal, it gets added to your book. Atlas Island. Oh, that's not a reference to something. Oh, I remember what I was talking about now. Oop, there's a thing there. Let me grab it with my telescope. Nope, not like that. Oh, we only got one boat. We don't want to wreck it. Yeah, I actually can see the similarities in art style behind behind Bioshock, you know? Like, the tone is, like, completely different. And the story is completely different. The story is not even in the same tone. This is obviously not Ken Levine writing, which is fine. Everyone has their own different style. But yes, I can see the art behind Rapture in this. I can see that hand at work. And it looks great, actually. This is a beautiful game. Very laid back, like the music. But you've probably noticed the other thing about the game is that, what the heck? That was a zombie! That was a Last of Us style zombie. He had like spores on him and stuff. So yeah, this isn't exactly a blind Let's Play. I played it for like 30 minutes just to test and see it. I probably already mentioned that. Oh, yes, there it is. Yay! Fire? Yes. Man has rediscovered fire. Or woman. They followed us! They followed us back home. That's not good. Is there combat? Can I light a stick with fire and fend off the zombies? Hello? Zombies. Zambies? Daddy went fishing, but then a storm hit, and he died. Mommy started drinking, and now the kids are alone.
Taku to Festa. Get whatia.
But yeah, the whole XCOM The Bureau, whatever that stupid game is called. Like I said, people have said that game was trying to please everybody, and you know what? I sense a touch of that here, to be honest. They've got the platforming, the fake language, and the saved your loved one story of Shadow of the Colossus. Like that opening scene, just it felt like it was channeling Shadow of the Colossus, like a lot. We also have the oversimplified hieroglyphic storytelling of Journey. And we also have a strong, non-sexualized female protagonist, which is always great, but you know, it's also great to like have a bit more writing, have a bit more character, maybe voice dialogue and a personality. I mean, yeah, I get it. She loves her brother. She wants to protect him. She wants to make him better. I get that, but I'm a storytelling guy at heart. You know, I've always claimed that I've never delusioned myself about that. But I mean, like I'm a storytelling guy, and sometimes I miss the visual beauty because I'm thinking about where the story's going. And so, when it comes to, like, simplified stories like this, it sometimes clashes with my brain a bit. But yeah, it's mainly just platforming, from as far as I know, as far as I've heard. I don't think you actually get to fight the zombies. I think they're just there, and they growl at you. But maybe this game will surprise me. But yeah, so far it's basically just an open world fetch quest. You know, collectibles and all that. You collect, you collect the packages to save your brother and advance your family story. You collect the city story completely out of order. You also find out each of the creatures and the landmarks. Oh, yeah. Whoa! I saw you there. Wait, what was that? That's like leaves on him and stuff. Fungus zombie. Called it. He vanishes mysteriously. I don't think we can actually go inside any of the buildings. Even though that would make sense. It would also add a lot of other programming and stuff. Programming and stuff, yeah. Well, this seems about as good a place to end the episode as any. Betwixt two gargoyles. There we go. That's nice. Alright, guys. That is it for episode 1 of Submerged. Yeah. I'm gonna keep it up. I'm gonna keep playing. And I'm gonna keep letting you guys know what I think. I always like to make... I know that I've talked a lot, and I know that what I've said hasn't been very glowing of the game so far, but I like to save my opinions for the end. So, but that's what I think so far. That's kind of what I'm able to think about 30 minutes into the game. So I'll let you know the rest when it's all over. I like to keep my thoughts going as the game goes on. So, thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Especially comment. I'm always eager for some feedback. I like to know what you guys think of how I do this, and think of what you think of the game so far. I will see you guys next time on Submerged.